different.
Yes, and those differences are good because they mean different ways of saying, thinking, and doing things.
So how come where we live, everyone looks just like us?
Diversity shouldn't be left behind at work each day. In our neighborhoods, we can prepare our children for the global life that lies ahead. To better understand the benefits of diversity in your community, log on to www.aricherlife.org. Brought to you by the National Fair Housing Alliance.
WXMT, do you sit on the board of a nonprofit organization?
All right, you just heard the back end of a PSA or public service announcement that diversity is good, and you heard the little girl, oh, how come where we live there aren't different people there? Well, let me tell you something about that. I'm all for diversity. It'd be a boring world if everybody did everything the same. I get that, but okay, here's a couple things. There's a lot of things about that PSA that irritate me, but here are the two main ones. First one is that, the daughter's like, oh, wow, look at all these different races here at this, your workplace, Mom. Isn't that great? And the mom's like, oh, yeah, all the different nationalities here really help make the business better. Well, that's bull crap. Yes. Different experiences can give different perspectives to certain business situations that can enhance the business. But just because you're a different race or a business that has different races in it does not guarantee that you're going to be any better than a business with a low variety of different races. So that's just bunk. I thought we were trying to move away from noticing race or accentuating race. I'm all for diversity. To me, if the person is competent, that to do the job that I want to hire them to do, that's what qualifies them to do the job, not what race they are. So anyway, the second thing that irritates me about that PSA is, oh, well, how come all the people that we live around, or the people that live in our neighborhood, all look like us? Well, because it's human nature. We gravitate to what's familiar. So it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a human thing. Why do you think they have Chinatown, where all the Asians congregate and live around other Asians? There are white neighborhoods, there are black neighborhoods. It doesn't mean necessarily that you don't want other nationalities in your neighborhood. It's just you gravitate to what's familiar. Me, I chose my neighborhood on what I could afford. I don't go around saying, oh, I think there's a black guy there, or oh, there's white people in there. No, I buy what I can afford, or live where I can afford to live. I've lived in places where people wore their head sideways with their pants around their ankles and had big boombox cars, because that's all I could afford. Now I can afford a little more, a little bigger house in a higher socioeconomic neighborhood, and people look the way they look because those people can afford to live there. I mean, that's just plain and simple, and I don't know what this PSA is trying to suggest, but I just don't get it. I mean, people are making, well, I know what it is. They have to manufacture a problem to justify their existence. So don't believe the lie. One, just because you're a multicultural business doesn't make you any better off than a company that, by no fault of their own, maybe some businesses purposely don't hire diverse nationalities, but there are a lot of businesses out there that don't have a whole lot of different nationalities because they just don't have them. They're just not available in that population. So, and Two, people like to gravitate to what's familiar, and that's plain and simple. So, what's the world coming to?